where the suits all grind. There's a lawyer with a vision, one of a kind. He's the Aussie overlawd. He'll fight for your rights, and he's got his own channel shining bright. From the courtroom to the web, he's got it all. Sharing legal knowledge, answering the call. He breaks it down in a language we all understand. The Aussie overlawd taking a stand. With his Aussie charm and his legal know-how, he's a hero we need, showing us how. He fights for justice, no case too tough. The Aussie overlawd, he's more than enough. He's more than enough. In Melbourne town, where the suits all grind, there's a lawyer with a vision, one of a kind. He's the Aussie overlawd. He'll fight for your rights, and he's got his own channel shining bright. From the courtroom to the web, he's got it all. Sharing legal knowledge, answering the call. He breaks it down in a language we all understand. The Aussie overlawd taking a stand. With his Aussie charm and his legal know-how, he's a hero we need, showing us how. He fights for justice, no case too tough. The Aussie overlawd, he's more than enough.
Okay, first things first. Stingy, you're a nut job. I watched that Mulan thing. How that had you howling with laughter at 5 AM, I have no idea. I'll be perfectly honest, not really my cup of tea, but hey, whatever floats your boat. Or should I say, your dinghy? Oh, how sweet. I have a guaranteed viewer. How are we doing, folks? I know it's only been like, 5 hours since I've been live, but a lot's happened in the last 5 hours. Let's see. I flew out of here once the Karen Reid trial rewatch was done, in order to go and pick up the little one from school, only to find out that she had once again lost her jacket, which makes 3 school jackets in as many months that have gone missing. All with her name on it, all with tags and all sorts of crap. And yeah, look, I wasn't a happy chappy. Her mum was more furious than I was. So that was nice and fun, trying to sort that out. Turns out she hadn't actually lost 3 jackets. We thought she had. The second jacket that I bought her was still at the bottom of the cupboard with the tags on. So it means she's only lost 2 jackets in the last 3 months. But it's still air tag it. Well, see, here's the problem. I get that she's 5, but she needs to be able to take responsibility for her clothes at least. And this one that went missing today, I bought literally on Friday. It's Monday today. Wait, what was it, Thursday? I might have bought it on Thursday. 2 days, okay? She's had it for 2 days. And, like, she swore black and blue that she hadn't lost and all that sort of stuff. So I'm wondering if, in the offshot chance that maybe one of the other kids has nicked it, or taken it by accident. But it's still 2 jackets in a row and in a short amount of time. It's just very frustrating, and I'm sure that this is something that parents go through all the time. I think that the response to it, you're curious about the content thingy? What, the rewording the WWE thing? Yeah, if I can get something out of that, I'll do that on the weekend. I'll take a crack at it. We AirTag the 6 and 17-month-old stuff. Well, they're not really the ones that are going to be losing stuff, though, are they? I mean, it's not really their responsibility to make sure that their nappies are still where they're supposed to be. But it's literally, we told her, if you are not wearing it, it goes in your bag, and you zip your bag up. How many places did she go to while at school that as a 5-year-old, someone's re-owned it? That's what I'm thinking, Bri-Bear. And that's why I'm a little bit, staple guns work well. Classy. That's why I personally didn't feel like I could get too mad at her, because, and like I asked her, is anyone bullying you? Have anyone taken your stuff? You know, what's going on? And she swore to me black and blue, because when I picked her up from after school care, because the after school care is on the campus and it's run by an external company. And so they have 2 people that walk around at the end of the day, 5 minutes before the bell, to pick up all the kids that are going to after school care instead of going home. And because it's been such an issue in the past, the girls at the after school care know that it's a big deal. In particular, after last week, after she lost the last one, and I just bought a brand new one. So they actually asked her when they picked her up today, you know, where it was. Was it in her bag? All that sort of stuff. And apparently she just had a meltdown because it wasn't on her chair, it wasn't in her bag, and she had no idea where it is. I mean, keep in mind, she's 5. She's got a memory of a sieve. And, so, I mean, I sort of took it in my stride. We walked out onto the school oval. We had a look-see, picked up 2 other kids for lost property and dropped them off. So it's obviously not uncommon because they were the same sizes, so it's obviously kids her age. Not sure if that was the heater or if the missus just slammed my door. School jumpers and coats with logos are not cheap. No, they're not. Hers are about $60 a pop. So that's, what, $180 worth of jackets we've been through now. Thankfully, we found the other one, so. What the fuck was that? That was my door to my office, and I'm not sure whether or not that was, FBI open up. No, not so much. So, I don't know. I'm hoping and praying that it's somewhere in the classroom. The new one, I've put both one of the stickers that the wife puts on things, and I've written her name onto the tag myself, so that it's big, it's bold, it's in big letters, because, like, the wife's put these, like, custom-made tags on everything that she's got, including all of her clothes and that sort of thing. But I went and looked at it, and I felt like the name was a bit small. Like, if it's a parent looking at it, you're going to see the name, you're going to understand that it's another kid's. But, I mean, it's a little plastic sticker that's like this, that goes on the tag, and the name's quite small. And I was thinking maybe that's part of the problem. But, I don't know. I'm hoping that it's there, because I could do with having that one less stress on my plate, you know? But, so that was that. And then we had pasta for dinner, which was good. Tag and pin we've done since they came out. Okay. Air tag it. Okay. Bear dropping a $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Vegas trip or school jacket fund, your choice. Majorly appreciate that, buddy. Cheers. Like, because what did they say the cost of raising a kid from like school age right through to 18 is now? At one point it was like, sounds like you had a full day. Well, I mean, it was a full day of work. I was here in the background watching the trial, which was great. Thank you to everybody that watched that. I still can't believe that there were 1,400 views on that. Like, I know it was like over a 7-hour period, but you know, that's still big for me. You know, it was nice that I was able to get some things done. I handled a couple of property matters for clients. I'm sorting out some estate works. I'm trying to make sure that I have everything handled so that when I take that effectively a week away, that I can just do what I need to. Big for me, that's what she said. Hello, Jeff. Kids stuff stupidly overpriced, especially for school. I guess that's why they price things so high, since they know the kids destroy and lose things. Yeah, and they have a ridiculous turnover, so the markup on it is, and also don't at me. I'm having a glass of Coke. I need the caffeine. Raising a kid, don't forget the mental damage to yourself. Yeah. And, you know, when my girls are butting heads, because we went through this period where mummy was the favourite. Now we're going through this period where daddy's the favourite, and mummy feels very left out. And her go-to phrase is, what am I, chopped liver, and that sort of thing. And it's just like, well, you know. So they're clashing a little bit, so I'm just sort of trying to... No one survives their parents. No, this is true. Not judging. Cheers. I hate the pink tax. 2 toys, identical other colour. The pink one costs more. Yep. Could be a theft, ring kids snatching jackets and selling back to the supplier. No, look, honestly, I think that... because this time around, I tried to future-proof it a little bit. I actually bought a size up in terms of jacket, and I'm thinking maybe what's happened is one of the other kids has picked it up and thought it was theirs. Whether it's one of the older kids, whether or not it's, you know, I don't know. I don't really care. The point is, it has a name on it. There's a sticker on it. We're getting it back, and it better be in the lost and found tomorrow when I drop her off at school. Costs us about £500 to start each kid at secondary school, plus now each needs to have an iPad. Yep. Yeah, I think that's probably close to what we burned through getting her ready. Have you been streaming the whole time? No, I took a break for, 5 hours since the trial stream ended. But, you know, it was what it was. And so, yeah, you know, it was a day, shall we say. And thank you to everybody that was along for the ride, at least through the trial anyway. It's more just like the little frustrating things. And I'm a little bit pissed off because, like, you know, housing crisis, cost of living crisis, all that sort of stuff. Which reminds me, thank you to everyone that's helping me get to Vegas. Appreciate that. You see Albanese coming out with, like, oh, you know, we're going to give all parents of kids in public school $400 to go towards education costs and that sort of thing. But it's going to be given to the school? And yet we're the ones that have to pay for uniforms and textbooks and like, all that sort of stuff. But, oh, no, you guys are getting $400. It's going to help reduce the cost of your children's education. Yeah, you're not really paying that to the parents. Stop phrasing it like that. Chair shaking a lot. I'm stressed. So my pinched nerve in my leg is just sitting there going... There's 2 funny AI images in general Discord. Cheers. But I don't know. We just got to get through it. That's all we really can do. Is everyone's got to keep plowing along, keep plodding along, keep moving along, and lend each other a helping hand when they can. Stuff you, Jeff. Just another bump to schools to saw where are helping, but it's going to get sent right back to the political parties. Yeah. Oh, look comfortable. Yeah, no, it's definitely not a vibrating chair. It's actually quite irritating because my leg does it like without me even thinking about it, and I don't notice it until I look at the screen and I see my chair going. US does that with lotteries, however, classrooms don't have pencils and paper. Oh, what? Seriously? I mean, I know that teachers over there have to like pay out of their own pocket to make sure that kids have all the necessities and that sort of thing. But that's a bit much. That's a bit rich. And I actually said to the wife today, you know, maybe we should consider homeschooling her. If it makes you feel better, your auto-generated thumbnail is epic. Oh no. Hang on. What? What's it done? I didn't do a regular thumbnail, so I just figured that it'd take a screenshot from the stream at some point. Hang on. I gotta share this. That's what we're gonna do just because the current education system in America. Yeah. I thought that was on purpose. That's okay. Play Jeff's clip from Saturday. I'll wait. I'll let that one sink in and rub in a little bit more first. What I'm loving though is check this out. It officially says 31.7. So yeah, I should say that's giving the forks. That's an actual bad thing here. At least it's 2. No, it's basically fuck you. I'm gonna have to change that. That's really annoying. Oh, but anyway, look, that leads us quite nicely into a few things. Thank you to everyone that has liked and subscribed in the recent days. I'm chuffed to be over the 31,700 limit for once, but I'm not quite sure what's going on with the YouTube Shorts. Like, I was extraordinarily happy last month to make it to 100,000 views. It's the middle of the month, and I'm going to clear that as it is. So, do it with both hands, and it's word to your mother. Oh, no thanks. I don't need to piss her off. Usually, a handful of wealthier parents take care of it for the poor folk. Usually. Oh, really? Oh. Well, see, it's nice that people sort of like lend a hand like that, but at the same time, they shouldn't have to. But I suppose it's social services stuff that's all a bit different from country to country. So, anyway, let's get stuck into some of the interesting stuff. For example, we have an Arizona woman. The Arizona woman who allegedly poisoned her husband in an attempt to knock him off while he was in the Air Force. She was found guilty, and she received 3 years for attempted murder. 3 years probation for attempted murder. But we're going to talk about that. There's been a bridesmaid that whipped a snake out of a wedding. Apparently she took after Steve Irwin. And a Delta passenger is suing for $1 million after a faulty armrest broke their ribs. But let's get stuck into it, people. Welcome to today's episode of Law News and Laughter. Yeah, you can call it that she tried and failed and got rewarded. Arizona woman who poisoned Air Force husband's coffee with bleach dodges jail. Mostly because she was inept at actually trying. She's almost as bad as the cops in the Karen Reed case are at framing someone as she is at trying to kill her husband. An Arizona woman who admitted to poisoning her Air Force husband by pouring bleach into his coffee is reportedly avoiding jail time. The dude... Love the memory of Babyface Aiden. Why do you think I haven't changed the intro? That and seeing Mighty just like stock still while I was talking to Ricada, that was funny. So wondering how bad her coffee was that the husband didn't notice the bleach in it. Like that I think is hilarious. Like the fact that he originally picked up on it eventually, but sitting there for a couple of weeks on end and noticing that your coffee tastes funny and then putting cameras in and catching her on camera to see her pouring bleach into your coffee. Like, Chicago wants $50 billion for the teachers union. Really? Okay, so she's reportedly avoiding jail time. Melody Feliciano Johnson, 40, pled guilty last month to 2 counts of poisoning food or drink for putting trace amounts of bleach into her husband Robbie Johnson's coffee maker on July 11 and July 18, 2023. I'd like to point out that they downgraded it to 2 counts of poisoning food or drink by putting trace amounts in, because the dumbass did not know how much bleach to put into the coffee to try and kill him. She didn't realize that a capful of bleach is not actually going to kill you. It's just going to make you feel a little bit cleaner on the inside. That is not legal advice, people, or medical advice. Johnson was sentenced to a probation sentence that includes mandatory mental health treatment that goes into effect immediately. She's not allowed to have contact with her husband unless a legal team is present. Robbie Johnson said he believed his wife was trying to kill him to collect the death benefits, according to court documents. He was initially arrested and charged with attempted first-degree murder, aggravated assault, and adding harmful substances to food, drink, or medicine, but agreed to a plea deal instead. And it's not even like when I was talking about this earlier today, and someone said, "Is she at least a looker?" No, she's not. She's a 15. I have no idea whether or not I hit that or not. The couple have a child together and were going through a divorce during the time she tried to poison her husband, court documents show. People, it's fairly freaking straightforward. If you're divorcing someone, do not remain under the same roof. Shit happens, and shit can look like an accident. Okay? That one's my own personal opinion. Robbie began to notice that his coffee tasted odd while he was drinking a cup in March 2023. When the family was stationed in Germany. He drank the coffee for 2 or 3 weeks before purchasing pool testing strips to determine what was wrong with it. First, he tested the tap water, which came back normal, but after conducting the test on his coffee, he discovered that the drink had been contained high levels of chlorine. He stated she knew that he would prep his coffee pot to be ready at night, so that in the morning he just needed to turn it on to make his coffee. Robbie pretended to drink the coffee while stationed in Germany and waited until the family moved back to Tucson, Arizona last summer to alert authorities because he did not want to report his findings in Europe, the court documents state. Because the laws are a little bit different. That's the face of a chick you smashed because you struck out at the bar on its last call, but you got to get something. Have you seen the security cam vids from this? Oh yeah, and we're gonna see it. Don't you worry. This has a pH of 14. That's odd. Wow, that was a really bad... Anyway. When the family returned to the US in late June, Robbie set up a camera inside their temporary housing near Davis-Monthan Air Force Base to observe his wife's behavior. The camera allegedly captured her pouring bleach into his coffee. On July 6, he filed a report with the Tucson Police Department, but the police did not follow up because the video did not clearly show what liquid his wife had been pouring into his drink, prompting Robbie to set up a second camera described as a fire alarm. Robbie returned to the police department on July 18 to provide additional video evidence, and the new footage allegedly showed his wife pouring bleach into the coffee machine before brewing. Johnson was then detained. Plea deals are a win-win for the lawyers. Prosecutor gets a guilty verdict, the defense gets an easier penalty. The perp gets a slap on the hand, and the victim, who is no longer represented, no one cares. That's the new norm. That's a bit rough, but not inaccurate. It's not actually muted. I haven't turned the volume on yet.
Johnson pouring bleach into her husband Robbie Johnson's coffee maker, seen here in a video from 3 different hidden cameras he set up to catch her in the act.
Really, that's all you're going to give me in terms of the footage? Fine.
Melody Johnson pouring bleach into her husband Robbie Johnson's coffee maker, seen
Literally a cap of bleach. Like, bitch, I get it. You're not going to be dumb enough to search how much bleach kills someone on the internet, especially in Europe. But, like, common sense should kick in after a certain point, you know? Maybe, just maybe, you go, it's been a few weeks and nothing's happening. Maybe I should up the dosage. No, don't do that. She was racist and was trying to make him whiter. Oh my god, have you guys seen that really racist, like, Japanese washing machine ad? Where it's a Japanese chick and she pushes a black guy into the washing machine and he comes out Asian? It's really fucking bad. She she was following Trump's method of curing with sunlight. She should have used mushroom coffee. Yeah, well, maybe. So, I mean, look, you can't tell me that women don't play on easy. He just wanted toast while in the tub. Bring back funny commercials? Absolutely. I mean, remember the good old days when we used to actually be able to have fun like that? But yeah, so, I mean, she got a plea deal. They dropped it from first-degree attempted murder. So she got 3 years probation. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would like to think that he's going to get a leg up in the divorce proceeding. But I don't think that this is an appropriate thing. And he should show any secret. Oh, what was the other thing? I don't understand why you would think that it was just okay to try and off someone like that. Commercial makers do not make much money anymore. We have to have master degrees to make some cash flow now. Ugh. Yeah, well, certain wokies with master degrees don't really help, do they? Divorce laws are probably automatically 50-50. I like to think that where there's an attempted murder that he might be okay with that, though. American wrestlers in Japanese ads are great. Oh, wait, people think President Trump did the studies and wrote the report about disinfectants and sunshine. While you're at it, bring back fun in general. This generation's ruined stuff. Stuff them all in the auditorium and put Sam Kinison on loop. Timeline will correct itself. He tried to send her to prison. No way he wins a divorce. Oh, all right. Let's talk about the other moronic. You know what? That's what I'm going to make this episode. Idiot women. For example, a woman who shot herself 4 times in the chest. Police believe that it was self-inflicted. Police in Philadelphia are investigating after a woman was shot 4 times in an incident that happened early on Sunday. According to law enforcement officials, police started investigating after a 40-year-old woman was taken to North Philadelphia Hospital. It's West Philadelphia, born and raised, isn't it? Before 1 a.m. by her husband after she'd been shot 4 times. Bitches be cray-cray. The man then fled the hospital, and law enforcement officials told NBC 10 the officers responded to the home where they found a gun and a large amount of blood. The woman, who police say has not yet provided further information on, was listed in critical condition. Initially, officials said they were searching for the woman's husband. However, on Sunday afternoon, police said in an interview at the hospital, the woman said that the gun was discharged as she was trying to reinsert the fallen magazine while removing the gun from her waist. Her husband, officials say, was initially a suspect as he had left after leaving her at the hospital. This is the BBC segment. Bitches be crazy. She shot herself 4 times in the chest. Is she a Boeing whistleblower? After reviewing the scene, law enforcement officials said that the self-inflicted nature of the wounds was confirmed. Oh my god, she shot herself 4 times. Why did he leave? I'm willing to bet that he would otherwise have ice on his ass. You'd think after the first 2 failed attempts, she'd stop trying. I like it. Instead of the Florida or California man, the BBC segment. Yeah, but then I got to get a nice photo of Drex. Gun doesn't just go off when inserting the mag. That is... According to police, an investigation into the incident is ongoing. If I hear of any updates on this, I will bring them to you. Oh, 4 times. Like, seriously. Alright. Brave bridesmaid removes an unwanted snake from a wedding. A bridesmaid is being hailed a hero after removing a snake from her sister's wedding. It happened in Florence, Arizona. Erica Rodriguez was fearless and showed zero hesitation after swooping the slithering creature up. A parade of guests followed along with their cell phones as she removed the snake from the wedding venue. Rodriguez said she learned the right way to grab a snake from Steve Irwin's show. Inside Edition. Fuck you. Media couldn't be loaded. Aww. Oh. Oh. Hey, Cloak and Glamour. Bitches can't even wireless hole punch, right? The first man was the snake. Moving on. A passenger is suing Delta for $1 million, saying that he broke a rib when he leaned on his armrest and it collapsed. A Delta Airlines passenger is suing the carrier for $1 million, alleging that he broke a rib when an armrest collapsed. Plaintiff Joseph Hippensteel was about to fly from San Diego to Seattle back in 22 when the incident is said to have occurred. The lawsuit filed earlier in May says Hippensteel was in an aisle seat and buckling his seatbelt in preparation for departure when he leaned on the armrest. The armrest and passenger fell to the floor where his right side contorted, twisted, and overextended. Contorted, twisted, and overextended. Steve's still saving lives. Yep. The man still lives on. It adds that he suffered a rib fracture and was assisted by a flight attendant and doctor who happened to be on board. 2 repairmen were called but could not fix the armrest, so the plane took off without it working, per the lawsuit. The lawsuit does not confirm whether Hippensteel remained on the flight or deplaned before takeoff. How much? Yeah, the only reason that they didn't include that is that he stayed on the flight. He got put into another seat. I can tell you that right now. Airlines suck on the armchair guy's side. Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting because for the second time in 12 months, I'm going to be flying United. So, if there's any country on Earth that can show videos on how to handle snakes, it's Australia. So naturally, the video is blocked. What did Adam say to Eve after returning from the trip? Hey, the McRib is back. Hippensteel's attorney cites the Montreal Convention, which stipulates that airlines are liable for any passenger injuries on board an aircraft unless they can prove that the passenger was negligent. It only applies to international travel, but the flight to Seattle was part of a ticket to London. The treaty limits compensation to around $170,000, but the suit asks for $1 million in total, accusing Delta of negligence as well. Delta did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Business Insider, sent outside US working hours. I'm shocked. Montreal Convention is often cited for such passenger injuries, such as one alleging a 6-year-old being burned by a hot meal on a United Airlines flight. Shit. When was that? Oh, it was in February. Oh, interesting. Plaintiff Joseph Hippensteel. Give me 2 secs. Now I'm curious, because you guys got me questioning something. I can't tell if this Asian guy is the one that... Because I looked it up, and it's showing some Asian guy sitting in a computer. And it's the same news article, but it was posted 10 hours ago by Yahoo News Canada. So, I don't know. Leaving down under in a few days. You can hitch a ride with us if you don't mind sitting on the floor of a C-17. I'll be right. Like, thank you for the offer. I mean, you know what? If it was in 6 months' time, maybe 12 months, I'd probably grab the family and run, and we'd all sit on the floor of the C-17. But hopefully everything goes well for you. Honestly, coffee hasn't kicked in yet. Had several broken ribs when I was fighting, jaw broken, left testicle destroyed in 1983 at age 18. One rib means nothing. Holy crap. There is more leg room in a C-17. That is true. All right. Tobacconist rammed and set alight as Melbourne's illegal turf war reignites. Tobacco stores in Melbourne's northwest have been rammed with vehicles and have set alight 2 in separate attacks as concerns grow that the city's legal tobacco turf wars have reignited. A car was set alight and driven through the front of Middle East Tobacconist on East Street in Hadfield at 5 a.m. Another vehicle was rammed into a convenience store multiple times at Gladstone Park Drive in Gladstone Park at about 5:45 a.m. I love that they took off the license plates as if they're not going to be able to identify the car from the VIN numbers. But you know, hey Ben, they've done that. How you doing? Saying a few tobacco stores got smoked. Oh yeah. Nobody was inside either premises at the time, and the stores sustained significant damage, the police said in a statement. Investigators are treating the fires as targeted attacks and will look at any possible links to other recent fires. Ahmad Koda, who owned the store at the East Street building next door to the Middle East tobacconist for more than 20 years. The barber's a friend that rents the shop from me, but his is all well. He's got a family. It's stopping him from working, he told 9 News. It was the second time that the shop had been firebombed since August amid a fierce illegal tobacco war between gangs. I reckon it's just an ongoing war of jealousy, one local told 9 News. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. If you have the same business, it'll happen to you too. A crime scene has been established and arson explosives squad detectives are investigating. You know, I'm not an arson detective, but I think I might know what the cause of the fire is. Just maybe. Generic convenience store. Is that what it said? Oh yeah, convenience store. Okay. These fires were the latest in 50 arson attacks across the state since March last year. 50 in 12 months. Oh, are you right? Damn dog's snoring again. How much I bet the government's involved? No, I don't think the government will be involved in these ones. It's understood a ceasefire between two warring underworld groups has been established, which had been established is now over. See, this is what happens when you remove vapes from the thing. Do YouTube fuck you? Why? What did it do, Psycho?
2 arson attacks, 10 kilometres apart. Both crime scenes an eerily familiar sight for investigators. Hadfield's Middle East tobacconist is barely recognisable after crooks ploughed into the store, setting it alight at 5 this morning.
It is scary. As long as they don't start targeting people, we'll be safe.
Ahmad Koda has... owned the East Street building next door for more than 20 years.
My barber's my friend that rents the shop off me, but it's his as well. He's got a family.
Yeah.
It's stopping him from working as well.
It's the second time the shop has been firebombed since August last year, the result of the fierce illegal tobacco turf war between 2 Middle Eastern crime gangs.
I want to play it again. Okay. Just because I can. Because I want to hear that again.
This morning.
It is scary. As long as they don't start targeting people, we'll be safe.
Ahmad Koda has owned the East Street building next door for more than 20 years.
My barber's my friend that rents the shop off me, but it's his as well. He's got a family.
Yeah.
It's stopping him from working as well.
It's the second time the shop has been firebombed since August last year.
I should point out, like, tobacco is a big thing here. Like, even though it's legal to import it, if you can get the stuff in cheap because of the markup, it is ridiculous. Just listening and can guess he has less than 4 teeth. hang on.
The result...
Nah, you're out of luck, Nick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the bottom row. We can't see any on the top. Tobacco's a big thing here because of the markup rates and the government taxes on it. You're all still laughing at the based old guy. Look at the arson tech. What was with the arson tech? What, you're looking at at the attractive arson tech, or... Like, I'm confused. What was wrong with the arson tech? Sounds like a Collingwood supporter, but he has too many teeth. No, so what I was saying is, because of the government taxes and the markup on the way that they're trying to stamp smoking out, like a pack of 30s is ridiculously expensive. Hang on. I think I looked these up a little while ago and people genuinely did not believe me until I showed the stream. Give me 1 second. Cigarette price. I don't care if I'm logged in or not. Apparently you have to be logged in to see cigarettes now on Safeway's page. That's bullshit. Coles, there we go. Coles online, browse cigarettes. Wow, they don't allow you to see it anymore at all. It's literally, they just show a quitting will improve your health thing. Lovely. When did this happen? Like, this is... cigarette prices... Smoke Mart. Smoke Mart will do. Smoke Mart. Okay, so... a 25 pack of Blue Camels is $40. Cover for lung cancer treatment. UK is going to raise the age limit on buying them each year, so one generation will never be able to be old enough to buy them. See, Leafy, they were doing the same thing in New Zealand, but they've literally just done a backflip on that, so it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they pull that off. Can you grow your own tobacco? No, I don't believe so. Roll your own, way cheaper than the pack. Look, it used to be, but for example, where are we? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to pull this across here so you can all see. So this is Smoke Mart, which is literally a shop that deals exclusively on smoking paraphernalia and cigarettes. Where is Holiday Blues 120s? $200 for 120 cigarettes. Pack of 40s in the supermarket is about $74 compared to the cheap ones from Asia, $13 a pack of 20. Yep. All for everyone being healthier, but let people be free to make their own decisions. Screw the government. Yep. Haven't done a backflip in New Zealand. They reversed one new law that hadn't come in yet. That's the one I was talking about. Still the same plan to make tobacco illegal by 2025. Oh, no shit. Okay. Daughter was so angry she turned 18. The only thing she could do now is vote and die for her country. No booze, no tobacco, no weed. Oh, shit. I'd be pissed too. Okay, so like that's Winfield Original Gold 30s for $60. I mean, these are ridiculous prices. They're just trying to make like a pack of 20 cigarettes for $40. Like, don't smoke, but I could never roll my own cigarettes because they would always be cigars. Well, speaking of cigars, vape, none of this should be allowed because that's all being banned now. Handmade cigars? One cigar for $73. Damn. Anyway, let's move on. Don't need to be talking about this too much. I'm going to get myself demonetized. Not that it matters because I didn't turn monetization on anyway, so... Anyway, Texas mum claims that police cuffed her on a pile of fire ants as the pests bit her all over her face, according to a lawsuit. How long can you hoard cigarettes, buy now, sell later? No, sorry, that was the point that I was trying to make, is that because they've put such a high import tax on them, because they put such a limit on the ones that you're allowed to bring in, there is a ridiculous drug trade for them. There is a ridiculous amount of black market material that's shifting hands. And the gang wars over it are only going to get worse. They really are. Where are we? So old I can remember buying a pack here for 75 cents when I was 14. Yep. Where are we? Market of colour. China's got underground factories making them. So, anyway, all right. Texas mum claims police cuffed her on a pile of fire ants as the pests bit her all over, according to a lawsuit. A Texas mum claims police handcuffed her and held her down on a pile of fire ants as the pests bit her all over her face, according to a new lawsuit. Taylor Rogers claims that officers from the Santa Fe ISD Police Department twisted her leg, hog-tied her, and buried her face over a colony of fire ants when they cuffed her over a traffic violation in 2021. Taylor Rogers was stopped by Santa Fe police for no reason, thrown to the ground right on a bed of fire ants in the middle of the day, and then held there while screaming, said civil rights attorney Randall Callanan at a news conference on Saturday. Oh, trigger warning. Jesus. Oh, I know it's wrong, but I just want to sit there and go... Dramatic police body camera footage from the arrest shows an officer holding Rogers down on the grass after she allegedly fled from police, trying to stop her over an illegal turn in a school parking lot. This is cutting my circulation off and there are ants on my face, she'd be heard saying before shouting out in pain. Ants are getting on my face, please, she howled. How can you do this? They're on my face, please let me go. Rogers alleges that she could not swat the insects away because she was handcuffed and claims that police did not help remove the ants. One of nature's squeezes then. Sucks to be arrested in an inconvenient ant colony. Oh, Jesus. Images of the aftermath show countless fire ant marks across Rogers' face, neck, chest, and shoulders to what her attorney claimed was tantamount to torture. Rogers added that the incident unfolded right in front of her 9-year-old son who sat in the backseat of her car. Police Chief Ruben Espinoza, one of the two officers named in the lawsuit, disputed Rogers' claims, saying the images from the arrest showed no sign of fire ants present on the grass. You reckon she did that to herself? Like, Espinoza added that the body camera video shared by Rogers' attorney was misleading and cut out one of the parts where the officers helped lift her off of the ground after she agreed to calm down. He told the local outlet that Rogers was treated with respect and dignity throughout the arrest. Following her arrest, Rogers pled guilty with charges associated with fleeing from police, by which she maintains that she drove away from Espinoza after he allegedly banged on her car and pointed a gun at her, startling her and causing her to panic. Espinoza, however, describes Rogers as irate and accusing her of knowingly ignoring orders and fleeing from police. Santa Fe police did not immediately respond to the post's request for comment. This is an interesting one because I'm willing to bet that she went full Karen. Fleeing from police in a school zone. You've done some stupid shit and they were trying to get a hold of you. I'm still not sure that it warrants holding her down and this being the outcome. Like, weird haircut, probably a lefty can't fix that. Been attacked by stepping on a fire ant nest, it's no joke. And the cop body cam is where? Well, that's a damn good question. Let me see what I can pull up. Hang on. Probably should have done this earlier, but oh well. That's just more photos. That's the lawyer. Looks like the Mirror's got footage. Okay, here we go. Houston 20, Fox 26.
Well, a woman who says she suffered more than 300 fire ant bites, mostly on her face, says it happened as police officers held her down in an ant mound.
Don't do this! Ants are on my face! Please let go! Help me!
You can hear Taylor Rogers in this police body cam video screaming for help after she says she was stopped by Santa Fe Independent School District Police and Santa Fe Police Department officers.
Okay, hang on. One thing I'll say here.
She says she was driving.
She's
as
already.
As police officers held her down in an ant mound.
Look, if she's already cuffed in this instance, she may have been going full Karen or whatever else, but that's like she resisted the whole time. I don't think I care at this point because if she's sufficiently restrained and she's cuffed, Although she may not be. This guy might just be holding her in an arm lock.
Hands are on my face! Please let go! Help me!
You can hear Taylor Rogers in this police body cam video screaming for help after she says she was stopped by Santa Fe Independent School District Police and Santa Fe Police Department officers because she says she was driving the wrong way in a circle drive at her son's school.
And for no reason, thrown on the ground right into a bed of fire ants.
Hands are on my face!
And then held there while she's screaming that there's fire ants on her. They put handcuffs on her so she can't even brush them
Okay,
off
so she was
her
cuffed.
face.
The absence of empathy and human compassion among some individuals in law enforcement.
Rogers says she was bitten over and over on her face, scalp, neck, chest, back, and arms by fire ants.
And we know that actually, on occasion, they kill animals, and even sometimes they can kill people with enough bites. And I was counting these bites, and I stopped at 300. 300 bites.
Just cut my circulation off! Hands are on my face!
She's now filed a federal lawsuit in Galveston County against the city of Santa Fe and 2 officers. She says she was on school grounds dropping off her 9-year-old son, who was in the car and saw the whole thing.
She's telling these officers, there's ants on my face, and they don't brush them off. This was their punishment. They knew what they're doing. This was no mistake.
While I forgive those officers for their actions that day, I refuse to remain silent in the face of the violation of my son's and my civil rights.
This happened in August 2021.
And the Santa Fe Police Department has not disciplined any officer. They have accepted this behavior.
It's not just a
Okay, to those of you that are saying in chat, well, what was she like before the clip? I don't care. Because after a certain point, it's just, okay, this is the same thing when we had that girl that mercilessly beat that other child, well, teenager, and slammed her head into the ground. After a certain point, it stops being, for example, self-defense and moves on to attempted murder. After this, after she's appropriately restrained, there were 6 guys around her. If they had taken the split second to see that there were legitimately fire ants on her, they could have picked her up and moved her. Like, I get the whole thing that they're not supposed to do anything if she's still resisting or whatever else. She's got ants biting her face. I'd be screaming too. So no, I don't really care what happened up until this point. After a certain point, there is a break in the chain of causality, and there is a break in the level of liability. Her screaming was just white noise to them at that point. Well, son's rights weren't violated, stop it.
the failure of individual officers, but also of the leadership and the first responders who are called upon to resolve societal issues and disputes.
If this is okay to do what they did to Taylor, then what else is okay?
Okay, that's a slippery slope argument, and I don't like that either. As soon as she was restrained, they're responsible for her well-being. They're responsible, exactly. Here's my thing: the cops don't show any bites. The other cop doesn't show any, and nowhere else did they don't just bite one area. Yeah, well. Anyway.
They're now advising us.
Please, it's just cutting my circulation off. Ants are on my face. Ants are getting my face. Please. Help! Help! Don't do this. Ants are on.
This dude is sitting there watching, like, looking at her face. Like, never watched Bugs Life or Ants the same way.
On my face. Please let go. Help me.
Calm down.
Calm down. Oh, you gotta love that. Oh, all right. Where are we? Oh yeah, let's talk about this one again. The Australian Museum. So, for those of you that remember, there was a female-only art exhibit, and a guy decided to sue them. Well, as it turns out, in order to get around the new court ruling, because the court basically turned around and said, yeah, no, the guy has a right to go and see the female-only artwork, given that they're major artworks that have been taken from around the world and placed behind a women's-only barrier. Well, in order to get around the discrimination ruling, they're going to install toilets. right next to the artwork to turn it into a female-only toilet. Australian Museum plans to install toilets in women's-only exhibit in order to circumvent anti-discrimination ruling. An exhibition at the Museum of Old and New Art, Mona, in Tasmania, Australia, by the American artist Kirsha Kashgel, titled Ladies' Lounge, is installing a toilet in the gallery, the BBC reported on Tuesday. The exhibition, which was previously accessible only to those who identify as women, was closed on Monday after a man sued the museum after being denied entry. The show, which opened in 2020, is a lush, decorative area of the museum with chic black and white floors and a green velvet drape, in which champagne is served by male butlers to visitors who can leisurely peruse some of the most notable works in the collection, including a Sidney Nolan, a Pablo Picasso, and antiquities from Mesopotamia, Central America, and Africa. Jason Lau, a man from New South Wales, tried to visit the exhibition in April 23, but he was denied entry. He lodged a complaint with the Civil Administrative Tribunal, in which he said the museum is violating Tasmania's Anti-Discrimination Act by failing to provide a fair provision of goods and services in line with the law to him. Basically, because he paid for a full price ticket and was still denied access to part of the exhibitions, which is fair and reasonable. Do you know how much fecal matter is going to end up on those paintings? I would hope that it's at least behind glass. And they have to install the men's rooms with the same artwork. In March, the tribunal ruled that within a month, the museum had to allow persons who do not identify as ladies into the exhibition. That time period expired on Monday, and the Mona appealed the decision on Tuesday, claiming the decision took too narrow of a view on women's historical and ongoing societal disadvantage, and how the ladies' lounge can promote equal opportunity. Equality is not equity. You want equality, it's got to be open for everybody. When are people going to get it through their fucking heads? Hey, my first one for the night. Actually, it's probably not my first one for the night, but oh well. Wait, why do I not have any sound coming off that? Oh well, it doesn't matter. In court, the artist argued that the discriminatory nature of the show was exactly the point. Ladies' Lounge was inspired by old Australian pubs, which until 1965, barred women from entry. The men are experiencing the Ladies' Lounge. Their experience of rejection is the artwork, she said, according to a report from The Guardian. Again, that's not equality. That's equity. Fuck you! Okay, they experience the artwork differently than women, but men are certainly experiencing the artwork as it's intended. Kachel used the courtroom as a kind of extension of the exhibition, or at least the idea behind it, when she showed up with 25 female supporters all dressed in matching blue navy suits and nylon stockings. Soundless, the women performed synchronized choreographed movements, including leg crossing, leaning forward together, and peering over the top of their spectacles in unison during the proceedings. I'm surprised that hang on, this was VCAT, wasn't it? Sorry, TCAT? TCAT? I'm surprised that the member of the tribunal even allowed that. Like, that to me is just a little bit disrespectful to the tribunal. Don't get it both ways. If they want women only, they don't get to cry about men only, so as long as that everyone involved is dead. So now the men have to have their emergency women's wear outfit in their bag, apparently. Once the proceedings closed, the troupe left to the sound of Robert Williams' Simply Irresistible. She said that she plans to work around the court's order that the exhibition be closed until it's made available to all by making the space compliant with state regulations and installing a woman's toilet and a church. There is a fabulous toilet coming to the Ladies' Lounge, and so in that sense, the Ladies' Lounge will operate as a ladies' room. It's a toilet that is celebrated around the world. It's the greatest toilet, and men won't be allowed to see it, she said to the Australian media reports, according to the BBC. In an interview published by the Mona, she said that men will be allowed in on Sundays, but only to learn ironing and laundry folding. Women can bring in all their clean laundry, and the men can go through a series of graceful movements designed by a Rinpoche and refined by Tai Chi masters to fold them. What a smunt. You can't argue that this is lifting women up, because it's not. You can't claim that you're going to be all about equality amongst the sexes and then do this shit. Because it's not. If women want equality under feminism, here's your equality. Yes, Digi, I use smunt before the 2 hour mark because it's the only way that I can get around the YouTube censors. So, I think Jason sent me this one. DEA agent seeks federal immunity after allegedly killing a cyclist. A DEA agent is accused of killing a cyclist in Salem while on duty and has had his case presented before a federal appeals court today in Seattle. At the center of today's hearing was whether the agent could claim immunity from state prosecution because he was on duty as a federal agent at the time. Dude. Surely qualified immunity only applies to acts actually taken as an officer. Like, well, they may extend it. On March 28th, 2023, Margane Allen was riding her bike home from work in southeast Salem. Video of the day shows a black pickup truck running a stop sign moments before striking and killing her. Behind the wheel was DEA agent Samuel Landis, who, according to court documents, was conducting surveillance of a suspected fentanyl dealer. Landis had fallen behind the rest of the surveillance team and was trying to catch up when he allegedly struck Allen on her bicycle. Senior Assistant Attorney General Philip Thones argued to the appellate judges that the situation was far from an emergency. The testimony at the grand jury was that there was no urgency and that there was no hot pursuit, he said. After months delay, Landis was charged with criminally negligent homicide on September 6th in Marion County Civil Circuit Court. But Landis' lawyers asked to have the case moved to federal court so that they could have the defense of federal immunity. The immunity doctrine says that if a person is acting as a federal agent, then they are immune from state prosecution, said Tung Yun, a law professor at Lewis and Clark College. The immunity laws sort of came up in the post-Civil War era when you had the southern states that were essentially conquered, so the federal agents were there to enforce federal law, anti-discrimination types of laws, and so on. And sometimes they'd be arrested by southern law enforcement, arguably for violating state laws. Well, if you allow that, then you would allow the southern states to frustrate the sort of post-Civil War anti-discrimination laws, Yun said. Congress addressed the situation with the passage of federal immunity laws. In December last year, U.S. District Judge Michael McShane granted the request to move the case to the U.S. District Court in Eugene. The Oregon Attorney General's office appealed the decision and today argued in front of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals that the case should stay in state court. Normally, you wouldn't be able to get an appeal heard before you resolve the entire case, Yun said, but this is a special circumstance because the case should not be in federal court. Then waiting until it's been heard is a colossal waste of resources and time and so forth. An attorney for the state of Oregon argued to the appellate judges that running the stop sign wasn't necessary for him to do his job as a DEA. Barnes mentioned an example of it on his show a while back about a federal sniper who shot the wrong person and got immunity because he was on duty. Yeah, Chris, the other thing is the Cleveland Crawford case that I follow reasonably closely. I don't generally talk about it on stream too much. I covered it probably, 3-4 weeks ago, just for an update. That was a sniper that decided that he would, despite the fact that it was, after dark, he couldn't confirm who the shot was, he decided it'd be a good idea to turn off his night optics and then take a shot at someone without confirming them. And he took out a 2-year-old. And he got qualified immunity as a result of it. That is now in court because he's trying to keep his name suppressed. I'm very much hoping that the media is able to actually win that case and have his name released, because I want to know who the bastard was. Dude wants to get off because he's a Fed. Dude's a fucking moron. Should have just tossed himself at the mercy of the court and begged for the lighter sentence. It's funny how groups carve out exceptions for themselves to practice policies they claim are egregious. Oh, God, how much... Okay. Senior Judge Margaret McCohen said, you talk about the focus of urgency with legitimate justification, but are you almost suggesting that there needs to be a necessity for him to have run the stop sign? Yes, definitely. When a federal officer violates state traffic law, their conduct will only be necessary in that circumstance where there is some urgency or emergency that requires them to do so. I would agree to that, actually. Landis' lawyers countered that running the stop sign was perceived as necessary at the time, regardless of how it seems now. Everybody can say right now it wasn't the right decision because we know what happened, but with what he knew at the time, it was reasonable given what he knew about surveillance, about the need to stay in touch with the team. The dangerousness of this fentanyl dealer wasn't reasonable, said Amy Potter, a former prosecutor now working as a defense attorney for Landis. It was a mistake of judgment. We know that it's a tragedy that happened, but he made that reasonable decision in the context of law enforcement surveillance. I call bullshit. While immunity is at the centre of the case, appellate judges are only tasked with answering the question of whether the case should be removed from the state court into federal. If the answer is no, then it gets kicked back to the state court. If the answer is yes, it goes up to the federal district court. And then the next move you have to make is, okay, does the immunity apply? For now, the case is on pause while both sides wait for the decision of the Court of Appeals. Yeah, so because he was has a federal badge, it makes it okay, apparently. I call bullshit. I really do. And finally, before I, just so you're aware of what I'm going to be doing over the next week or so, the court book for Tickle versus Giggle came down over the last couple of days. It's 884 pages, but it's everything. Every piece of evidence that the case is going to rely on, all of the court documents, all put into one place. It's quite a bit. So at some point, I'm going to sit and go through that. Tease out the interesting parts and bring you an update, basically. Oh, all 3-letter agencies should be abolished. You know, all 4-letter agencies should be abolished as well. I'm looking at you, ASIO. Alright, so... where are we? Let me bring up the thing. I'll shunt everyone across. Thank you to everyone that has already hit the like button and double-checked whether or not you subscribed. Very much appreciate you all being here. There will be more Karen Reed tomorrow and the next day after that. Wednesday, there will be not be any day streams because I have to go to a trial. But after that... oh, you know, the sky's the limit, so... alright. Go and enjoy some Maya Kowalski stuff with Vices. I'll see yours all later. Where are we? Hang on. Gotta do it properly! As always, people, do not forget, you are not a piece of shit. You have value and do contribute to society, especially for being here and watching this show. Very much appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to everyone that's donated for Vegas. And in the meantime, remember to stay healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I'll catch you all on the flip side. Cheers, peeps. Where is it? There it is.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.